Good rising, you guys. It is Naeem Shakam here, and I'm just coming to record this video. I don't know where the hell I'm looking, so I'm just looking at myself. But I'm coming to record this video because in a lot of the readings that that I've been posting in the last week or so, and really longer than that, I think since I've been reading, um, I've always mentioned spiritual warfare, right? A spiritual battle, a spiritual war. So today I saw a post by a Facebook friend of mine, and I'm on babysitting duty, so yeah. I saw a post by a friend of mine a Facebook friend of mine, excuse me, who she was talking about spiritual warfare and a spiritual battle that's happening right now. Um, and so, you know, with me knowing or having some insight about that, and it showing up so often in a lot of the readings, I was like, okay, spirit. So then I went and I asked questions like when I was getting in the shower, and I was like, I really wanted to know what what's happening in the spirit, like what is some of this about. And some of the first messages that came in very, very quickly, very fast, were the overall message is that this is basically a battle and a war for what spirits are going to dominate at this point, dominate where we are, dominate this plane moving forward. That was, to me, that's like the biggest thing. You know, what is the order of the world going to be now? Okay. Is it going to be things like peace, abundance, prosperity, family, love? Or is it going to be this same thing that we've been seeing for a long time now? War, hatred, selfishness, um, all this individuality to the point to where it's destructive, because it's okay to be an individual, but you have to see yourself also as a part of the collective. If you don't, that can be destructive because you don't see people as yourself. I'm getting off on a tangent. So that's the biggest thing. This war is about what's going to rule moving forward. In specifics, in details, I got messages about this is about relationships, like divine relationships, where people literally have attachments, demonic attachments to them. And of course, that plays out in the carnal, right? This is also a battle between the spiritual winning out over the carnal, over the physical. So many people are warring themselves. They are warring things that they've had to deal with, struggles that they've had for decades. This was also about karma. Come on, boo boo. Come on. This is also this is also about karma, and people are being tested. People are being tested at this time. So those were some of the messages that came out about what this spiritual battle, what this spiritual warfare is in regards to vices, habits that need to come forth and be made stronger, habits that need to die for the purpose of ushering in this kingdom. Um, so yeah, that's all I have to say. That's what Spirit basically gave me after I did ask, because I'm like, this has been coming up in readings a lot for me too, and I've been saying it for so long. So what exactly is this warfare about? And one of the things that came up for me is one of the things to help bring this home for me was a testimony that I have heard or I read in what they call the Apocrypha. And it's about, who is it? Tobias or Tobit and his wife Sarah. So the whole time there was a demonic entity attached to Sarah. And different things happened in life and different things happened in the physical realm that it could have appeared that Sarah was just cursed, or, you know, she was just this person who could never get right or could never have a great relationship, but the entire time it was because there was a demonic entity that was literally attached to her and would not allow for her to have functional marriages. So that came into play with me. That came into play with me when Spirit was giving me these messages about, okay, this is about relationships. This is about divine unions where there are people, there are entities attached to certain people who are supposed to be their spiritual powerhouses, their spiritual leaders. They have a mission and a purpose here. They're very loving. Oh, thank you, Spirit. Okay, that was another thing that came up. A lot of us are not realizing. I saw 555 on the clock as I was just about to say this, but a lot of us aren't realizing that our weapon as divine beings is actually supposed to be love. It's not supposed to be the weapons of warfare that are carnal or physical. So a lot of people, we're not remembering that we need to operate in the fruits of the Spirit, such as love, peace, compassion, just being long suffering. I, for one, am one of those people too. Like, when you are hurt, especially when it's a relationship, like a love relationship, be it with family, friends, or a person that you're committed to, when someone hurts you in a way like with cheating or with choosing someone you feel over you guys' connection, or betrayals and things of that nature, that can be very painful. And if you focus on that pain, it will cause you to not operate. The first things you feel is this pain, this immense amount of hurt, feeling like, oh my God, how could you do it to me, and all these types of things. So then if you dwell in that place without remembering love, without remembering mercy, without remembering compassion, without remembering possibly putting yourself in that person's shoes, or even trying to figure out what could have caused this person to operate in the ways that they did, whether it's directly because of you or because of some other type of forces that they're dealing with, you know, it can literally cause you to operate totally opposite of what you're supposed to be. So, and when I say what you're supposed to be, I do understand that we all have a choice in this life to operate in love, or to operate, I was about to say, to operate in love and life, or to operate in hatred and or death. You know, that is a choice that we all have been given. But I think that many of us who are going through a lot of things, we're suffering a lot of things, it's because we're a part of the connections that we're supposed to be operating in love. And we are supposed to rise above hurt, anger, resentment, revenge, being vengeful, being malicious. We're supposed to rise above those things. And the people who know who they are and who resonate with this message, you're going to know that what I'm saying is for real, because you've been experiencing this, or you've been hearing this, or you already know this. I'm not telling you anything brand spanking new. So this is going to be an encouragement and a reminder for those who are divine beings, who are on the side of love and truth. Please remember that love is our weapon. It is extremely powerful and it never loses. Understand that, okay? And choose to operate in things like mercy, forgiveness, compassion, understanding, and long suffering. And I know that you will not go unnoticed or unrewarded, okay? Also, some people think that just because I use the word love, or that many people use the word love, that this means that we accept mistreatment. No, you can still love a person. You can still offer compassion. You can still even be empathetic and still not be with this person. It's not saying to allow someone to totally debilitate you or what have you, but humiliation shouldn't be a problem. It may hurt, but love covers. And so if you ever feel that you need to expose someone, look, I've been in this place. I know I said I was done, and I need to retract that statement because more things came to me that Spirit said while I was in the shower. But I've been in the place where I've had to be tried and tested when it came to being a loving individual, being a loving individual in the face of adversity, in the face of literally being hurt and feeling betrayed. Some instances I passed. And when you pass, there's a freedom. I'm telling you, there's a freedom that comes with that. And after that freedom comes a lot of abundance, a lot of blessings. Your doors are open when you operate in love like that. And blessings come to you, whether you recognize them right away or not. They flow to you. Things seem to work out for you with little to no effort. Okay? So that is a perk of operating in universal love. We have to check our motives and we need to check our intentions. If you're trying to expose someone, or if you're speaking out of a place of anger, or even your truth can be malicious as well. What are your intentions behind speaking this truth? Is it to hurt someone? Is it to make yourself seem like you're so different from this person because of how they did you, or the things that they did? Is it to make them look bad? Because if it is, even if it's a truthful statement, if hatred, or if you wanting to be vengeful and make them feel the way that you feel is your motive or your intention, I submit to you that that is not the right motive, and you should probably keep quiet. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. These were the messages that Spirit gave today about what's going on in this war. Okay? And I feel like the part about mercy and operating in the fruits of the Spirit, that's just a reminder to the divine beings who are experiencing your test. You're experiencing these attacks. You're in the war, you're in the battle. Most of us are, whether we are aware of that or not. This is just a friendly reminder. Allow love to be your weapon. Allow love to free you up, to motivate you, and to cover you. And to cover you. Because we need to also remember that everything that we decide to do tends to bring karma. Period. Whether it's good or bad, you're going to reap what you sow. Even if it's not in this life. Even if it's not in this life, it could be in the next. I think people need to understand that also with the judgment that you send out to people, understand that at some point you're going to either desire that judgment back or you're going to receive that judgment. So be very mindful. Be very, very mindful to allow love to be the filter that you even send your judgments through, because in doing that, you cover yourself and that person. You cover yourself and that person. If you can honestly say that what somebody has done to you, if it were you, you would expect death, or you would expect not to be forgiven, then by all means go with that. But, or that you wouldn't want to operate in compassion, or you wouldn't want someone to operate in understanding with you, then stand with what you believe. But if there is somewhere in you that you would need compassion, or you would desire that, or you would want someone to at least be understanding from where you're coming from, to understand why you did what you did, then make sure that you filter your judgments and even your reasons about why you'll deal with someone or why you won't, through those same types of lenses. Okay, I'm done. Shalom, you guys.